The time is 12 o'clock. Here's the media news. First, the top stories. Ogun government asked people living near Ogun River to vacate their homes. Okwanso blames rising agitation on collapse of APC and other parties. 189,000 Kyrgyz registered voters ask INEC to recall Dino Melaye from Senate. Fulani communities in Taraba ask presidency to save them from attacks. In foreign, 800-year-old mosque destroyed as Iraqi forces batter IS forces in Mosul. Kenya to provide schoolgirls with sanitary towels to keep them in school. Good afternoon, I am Aghemerio Oaikhenan, bringing you the news in detail shortly. And now the news in detail. Ogun State government has asked people living close to Ogun River and floodplain in the state to immediately vacate their homes to avoid loss of lives and properties to massive flooding in the ongoing rainy season. Ogun is one of the states that weather forecasting agencies predicted will experience heavy rainfall and massive flood this year, and already the water level of Ogun River at Lafenwa in Abeokuta, as reported on Tuesday by Rock City FM, has reached a frightening level. The State Environment Commissioner Bolaji Oyileye in a statement asked people living near Ogun River and other floodplains to move to safer places, adding that there will be massive flooding from 7 other major rivers in the state. According to the commissioner, Ogun will still experience above the normal rainfall that could cause severe flooding. The suspected killers of a 73-year-old hotelier, Chief Akoni Famuyiwa, are now in the nets of Ogun State Police Command. The hotelier was murdered last Wednesday in his residence at Arigbajo near Ifo. Spokesman of the State Police Command, Abimbola Oyeyemi, names the 5 suspects as Dari Abiodun, 19, Femi Ayinla, 17, Abdulamin Akinloton, 18, Jamiu Akiwije, 19, and Benga Ojo, 20. Oyemi says that hoodlums numbering 8 broke into the residence of the late hotelier, stabbed him on his left hand before dispossessing him of a bag containing the cash sum of 500,000 naira and 2 mobile phones. According to the spokesman, the hotelier died from excessive bleeding while being rushed to a hospital. Oyemi says that State Police Commissioner Ahmed Ilyasu has directed that the case be transferred to State Criminal Investigation and Intelligence Department for further investigation. Ogun State Traffic Compliance and Enforcement Corps (TRACE) has finalized plans for prompt rescue service before, during, and after the Eid al-Fitr celebration in the state. TRACE spokesman Commander Babatunde Akibi in a release says the planned rescue exercise ordered by the State Corps Commander Olasheni Oguyemi begins on Wednesday and will end on June 28. Akibi explains that the Corps is deploying additional operatives and co-opting the voluntary arm of TRACE Corps, TRACE mayors to man strategic beats and checkpoints across the state to check the excesses of recalcitrant motorists. The Corps, according to him, expects a high volume of human and vehicular movement, the breakdown of ill-maintained vehicles, as well as obstruction and road crashes during the period. According to him, the TRACE Corps commander asked motorists to comply with traffic rules and regulations, warning that any vehicle apprehended during the celebration would not be released until the end of the Eid al-Fitr special patrol operation on Thursday, June 29. The spokesman asked the motorists and the public to call hotlines 0703 411 0281 or 0802 414 9595. You can also call 0806 270 3568 in case of emergency. Former Governor Rabiu Kwakwanso has blamed the rising agitations in the country on the collapse of the country's political system. Kwakwanso, an APC senator speaking to newsmen in Abuja, expresses concern that the existing political parties in the country, including APC and opposition parties, are not functioning well. APC, according to him, is sick, not well-funded, and has not held any critical meeting of its leaders since it was formed. Kwakwanso also says that opposition parties have irreconcilable problems, rendering them inactive. On the rising agitation in the north and southeast, he calls for a dialogue between the two regions instead of arrest of northern youth who canvassed for Indigo to quit the North. Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has received the signature of 188,558 registered voters in Kogi West Senatorial District of Kogi State, seeking the recall of Senator Dino Melaye from the Senate. The signature represents 52.3% of 360,098 registered voters in the senatorial district. The collator signatures were conveyed to INEC headquarters in Abuja in 6 bags. Leader of the petitioners, Cornelius Okowa, told newsmen that the signatures were collated from registered voters in Ijumo, Kaba, Bunu, Mupamori, Lokoja, Yagwa West, Yagwa East and Kogi local government areas. The demand for Melaye's recall, according to him, is because of misrepresentation and lack of interaction with the constituency. Senator Melaye, however, had alleged that the collation of the signature is being sponsored by Governor Yaya Bello. Lassa fever has spread to Ondo State with 4 persons infected. 2 of those infected are in Owo and another 2 in Akoko South local government areas of the state. Permanent Secretary in the State Ministry of Health, Dr. Taye Oni, expressed concern over the timing of the discovery of the disease in the state. He explains the ministry is collaborating with Federal Medical Center Owo for the treatment of those infected. Vice Chancellor of the Achievers University Owo, Professor Samuel Ibiyemi, confirms that an out-of-campus student of the institution is one of those infected with the disease. The Fulani community in Sadana local government area of Taraba State has cried out over attacks on their villages, which they claim have claimed scores of lives since the last Saturday. Fulani elders in a statement in Jalingo asked Acting President Yemi Osinbajo to save them from being wiped out by ethnic militia forces in the state. They also asked the federal government and the United Nations to set up a commission of inquiry into the killings in which over 4,000 of the cattle have been killed. The Fulani elders allege that over 180 Fulani villages in Mambila Plateau have been completely burnt down and several people killed. The State Police Commissioner Yunana Babas told newsmen in Jalingo that armed policemen and troops have been deployed to the areas to restore order. You're still listening to the Midday News on Rock City 101.9 FM. Up next, we'll bring you foreign, business and sport news. Please just stay with us. On the foreign scene, Iraqi Prime Minister Haider al-Abadi says the destruction of an ancient mosque in the city of Mosul is an official declaration of defeat by so-called Islamic State IS. Iraqi forces say it blew up the great mosque of Al-Nuri and its famous leading minaret as jihadists battled to stop advancing pro-government troops. The mosque, which was more than 800 years old, was where in July 2014, IS leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi commanded allegiance in his first and only public appearance following IS declaration days earlier of the caliphate. Thousands of Iraqi security forces, Kurdish Peshmerga fighters, Sunni Arab tribesmen, and Shia militiamen supported by US-led coalition warplanes and military advisors are involved in a battle to retake the key city. The Al-Nuri Mosque dated back to 1172 and was named after a noble who fought against the early Crusaders. US President Donald Trump has told supporters that his proposed wall along the border with Mexico could have solar panels fixed to it. Mr. Trump told cheering supporters at a campaign-style rally in Cedar Rapids that the panels would provide cheap energy and help to pay for the controversial wall. However, solar panels have been included in designs for the wall submitted by companies. During his campaign, Mr. Trump pledged to build a wall along the Mexican border to stop illegal immigration and drug trafficking. He insisted he would make Mexico foot the bill, but President Enrique Pena Nieto has dismissed the idea. Schoolgirls in Kenya have to be provided with sanitary towels under the amended Basic Education Act that has been signed into law by President Uhuru Kenyatta. The news was announced on the president's official website. The act was earlier amended by Parliament to make it mandatory for the government to supply schoolgirls with sanitary towels. This is a big win in the campaign to improve education for girls. While the government has been giving sanitary towels to girls at some schools, others have not been getting them. Girls therefore miss school when they menstruate as they cannot afford to buy sanitary towels. The new law will help ensure the girls continue with their education uninterrupted. Up next is business news. An Indonesian firm plans to construct a refinery capable of refining 10,000 barrels of crude oil in Nigeria. Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) names the investor as an engineering firm, PT Intim Perkasa. NNPC, in a statement by its spokesman Undu Aghemerio, also says it has embarked on an ambitious plan to fast-track programs to restore the capacity utilization of the country's four refineries from 30% to a minimum of 90% in the next 24 months. Maikanti Baru, NNPC Group Managing Director, explains that the agency is working on securing financing and technical expertise from third parties to achieve the objective. Finally, sport news. The trio of Hamad Usman of Wicked Tourist, Andrew Ikefe of Niger Tornadoes, and Musa Suleiman of Katsina United are matchday 24 shortlist candidates for that Wonder Goal number 5. The top flight matchday 24 recorded a rich harvest of 27 goals, 6 from penalty spot. According to release by the league body, League Management Company (LMC), video clips of the goals are now up on the website of the Nigeria Professional Football League, www.npfl.ng, and the Twitter handle at LMCNPFL for fans to vote for their preferred goal from Wednesday to midnight of Saturday, June 24. The VAT Wonder Goal Award attracts a cash prize of 150,000 naira for the winner, with half of the money donated to a charity to be nominated by the player within the state where the club is located. It is supported by the Federal Inland Revenue Services (FIRS) to promote club community relationship and also create awareness for tax education. That was the major news, and just before we go, the major stories once again. Government asked people living near Ogun River to vacate their homes. Okwanso blames rising agitation on collapse of APC and other parties. 189,000 Kogis registered voters asked INEC to recall Dino Melaye from Senate. Fulani communities in Taraba asked presidency to save them from attacks. In foreign, we reported that 800-year-old mosque destroyed as Iraqi forces battered IS forces at Mosul, and also Kenya to provide schoolgirls with sanitary towels to keep them in school. For more stories and to listen to us live, please log on to our website www.rockcityfmradio.com/live. Thank you so much for listening. I am Aghemerio Oaikhenan. Good afternoon.